Hi, I'm Heredin, and this is my Grand Exchange UIM series. I created this game mode to make the fun of UIM accessible to a wider audience. I'm exploring this game mode from the beginning to the end game, exploring new and unique methods along the way. This is GEUIM. Alright, starting out in Lumbridge, I'm going to clear my inventory so I can do Cook's Assistant and Sheep Shearer right away, and while I do that, I'm going to explain the rules. So, my account is basically the UIM game mode with the Grand Exchange added on top of that. Now, there is a bit of a problem. Because I can use the Grand Exchange, my account is technically a main, so I can't death bank. The rules for UIM deaths do not apply to me, so I'm just gonna remove that whole part of the game mode from my mind because doing that is impossible. The closest thing would be trading over all my stuff to another account and then putting up a 1 hour timer, but I don't want to do that, so there will be no death banking. Also, deaths in the wilderness, because the rules are a little weird and 20 wilderness and 30 wilderness, you have to check what level you're at. I don't want to deal with that, so the rules are to simplify things. If I die in the wilderness, I have to drop all my items. My 3 or 4 items I get back in Lumbridge, those have to be ditched. So right now, basically, I'm clan wars teleporting before home teleporting. I have a guide for how to unlock the GE as fast as possible. Whenever I start a new account, I basically follow that, so this is all according to the guide. There's Cook's Assistant done, I know, world first, but this is actually very important for me because I need 7 quest points to unlock the GE. Well, partially unlock. I still can't sell items like logs and copper ore for some reason. So I'll need 6 more quest points, and I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to get them. Okay, there's the balls of wool I need. I'm also going to take this dagger because 100 coins is a lot of money for me right now. Also, I'm going to set up my bank for the entire series. I will fill it with bank fillers and never touch it again, except sometimes by accident. But I'm not going to put anything in it, so the rules will never be violated. I lied. I sold the dagger for a few coins. That's going to be more valuable to me in the future. Also, your sheep shearer done. That is 2 quest points, so I'm at 2 out of 7. To free up some inventory space, I'm going to use up my airstrikes I've collected, and I got myself a goblin mail, which is surprisingly expensive for a quest item you can get in the area where you do the quest. With the money I collected, I bought a full inventory of these molds here. If you ever do this, never buy the brown mold because it's a ripoff, but the white molds are perfect. I started with like 100 coins, and now I have stuff I can sell on the GE for maybe 2 or 3k. Really good starter cash. Also, while I'm here, I may as well start Prince Ali Rescue. This is the one step when making a new account that I always forget. Even in the other clip I showed, I had to run back a bit. To free up an inventory space, I dropped my spare coins and I need a cadaver berry. 1 item will give me 5 quest points and that'll get me to 7. I bullied the dummy a bit, as you do. Romeo and Juliet done. That's 7 quest points. That means we unlock the GE, and I am going to straight away sell the goblin mail and sell the molds. This is why I do this. I need the starter cash. That's more than I expected. There's 5.5k within 30 minutes of creating the account and not doing the security stronghold yet. With this, I am going to go straight into woodcutting because I need to unlock the canoe for easy transport. This means I will need 1 of every axe except rune because I can't afford it. I got totally ripped off on the black axe, but hopefully I can sell it back later. Okay, I'm going to do the normal tree phase south of the GE. This is so that I can sell back the axes once I'm done, and if I need some money, I can pick up the ashes from the logs and run straight to the GE and sell them. Moving on up, we now have oak trees, which means I'll be getting logs that I can't actually sell straight to the GE, but I can still sell the ashes. Okay, let's see if I can get 3k back for this black axe. Oh dear. First, clue scroll on the account. Can I do this? Let me check the next video to see if I did do this. After selling some obsolete axes and some ashes I've been collecting, I have 10k for the first time on the account. Okay, I got some wines, not too many because I want to stay light, and I'm gonna go do the security stronghold because 10k is not enough money for me. Time for the dangerous part. Yeah, I don't think I needed these wines. That is 10 more K on the account, and that took me 5 minutes from running from the GE. That means the stronghold is about 120k per hour if you're starting at the GE. Good to know. Now, the first thing I need to do with this money is get my teleport back to the GE, which is going to be the Chronicle teleport. Because I can't bank, the Chronicle is going to be my most valuable item because to store any item I have other than on tradables, which I don't have many of, I'm going to need to go back to the GE every once in a while to ditch everything in my inventory. This will also act as my panic teleport for pretty much all of free-to-play. I probably could have used it at the stronghold, but there was no real resistance from the stronghold monsters, so everything is fine. Okay, time to start one of the most overpowered quests in free-to-play. Vampire Slayer gives you insane experience in attack, and you don't even need to use melee. It's better to not use melee, in fact. Okay, here's a little efficiency thing I do. On any account with Grand Exchange access, like this one, if I'm ever running through the center of Draenor, and I'm relatively early game and not in members, I go to this store and I buy everything I can to fill my inventory, fill my equipped page, and I sell everything I have, or bank it if I can. This doesn't net you an insane amount of money, but if you're early game, this is definitely worth doing. Okay, I have filled my inventory with quest items. This cost me a lot of money, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Time to machine gun through some quests. There's Doric's quest and 11 mining. There's Witch's potion, as well as Imp Catcher. And there is 13 magic, which means my spells will hit 8s. I am ready for the worst vampire in the game. When you do vampire quests later in members, vampires are very intimidating and they pose a real threat that you have to think about, like how are we going to deal with them? But this guy sucks. The intro to vampire quests in this game is just pathetic. Okay, I got a lucky one-step clue while starting Ernest the Chicken. What do I get? Yeah, that's a beginner clue. I just started the game a few hours ago and that's still a bad reward. Okay, first boss fight of the account. And I completely screw up this fight. Just watch this. And I barely did it, but that is Vampire Slayer done. The first boss down. And also 22 attack. Okay, I walked past these poisons earlier. They're 1k each. So I'm going to fill up my inventory with them because I'm going right back to the GE right after. You'll also notice I hit up the fishing shop for more stuff. One more quest in the manor. There's Ernest the Chicken. Let's see how much these poisons are going to get me. That is pretty good for not even filling up my entire inventory. I filled my inventory with quest items again, and we are going to do 100 quests. Also, I can use these canoes. This is really convenient to connect Pharaoh's Enclave with the rest of the game. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3 goblin mails I need. There is no point getting these from goblins or buying them from the GE. You can just find them during the quest. Okay, there's Goblin Diplomacy done. This is a more important quest than it may seem like because I have no idea how to do crafting on this account. So the crafting XP from this quest is really going to be good. Really going to be helpful to me. There is Pirate's oh, wait a second. Okay, now, there is Pirate's Treasure completed. I should have probably said this earlier, but the way I play this game, I don't like doing free-to-play content that I could have done in free-to-play when I'm a member, so I always start off an account by doing all free-to-play quests, and once I'm done with free-to-play, once I'm satisfied, then I move on to members. So once I get every free-to-play quest done, then I'll bond up and we'll start the members part of the series. There's Black Knight's Fortress completed. Alright, now that I have a bit more money, my next goal is to get better teleports because it is hard to get around with just a Chronicle and using canoes. So, I'm going to train some magic, and because of the weakness update, I know exactly where I'm going to do this. and I will be using water spells for this grind. Amulet of Accuracy is useless to me, so I'm going to sell it off right away and buy better mage gear. And with these overpriced robe bottoms, I have my mage gear. Time to kill lesser demons. If you guys didn't know, there's an interesting teleport you can use to get to Port Sarim. I home teleport, I cross over to Al Kharid, and I go to Shanty Pass, and if I talk to Shanty and do the right chat options, he will send me to jail in Port Sarim, and I can pick the lock, and it's free to play lockpicking, and then I'm out of the jail, and I'm free to do whatever I want in Port Sarim, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's just run past these lesser demons. I'm a little worried about this. They are hitting me pretty hard. But yeah, I'm completely safe. That was no problem. Okay, first drop on the account worth noting. Rune Medhelm. On an iron, you would basically sell this to a shop, but I get the full value because I have the GE. Tradable drops are overpowered. Untradable drops are a serious problem, but tradables are good. And there's Varrock Telly unlocked. There's the second Rune Medhelm. I really need these because I spent a lot of money on runes that I'm not going to get back, and the gear, which I can get back when I sell it. Also, these Vile Ashes are insane for prayer. I'm power leveling right now. Okay, there's 37 magic. That's what I needed for the last teleport in free-to-play. Now getting around is going to be way more convenient, especially for me because I can just buy law runes off the GE. Well, I'm out of runes, so let's go sell this stuff at the GE. Okay, with these 2 helms sold, there is my money back and more. Okay, it looks like I can't sell my chaos runes, which is annoying. I probably could have used them up. And I can't sell fire runes, but I can sell death runes. It's like these rune restrictions were picked at complete random. Okay, the time for fishing is now. I don't really have a good method of AFKing on this account. Everything I've done so far has taken my full attention. So, now that I can fish, I will waste no XP while I queue this CSGO game. We lost the Counter-Strike game, but in other news, there's 23 fishing. That's the last level I'll get from this bait. Okay, I've come up with a method for clearing my inventory. I'm going to sell my Addy Axe, and to get rid of my coins, I'm going to buy something that I can't afford in the Grand Exchange. This will put all my coins into the Grand Exchange, and it'll free up an inventory slot so I can fish as efficiently as possible. There's 43 fishing and 44 cooking. Next thing I'm going to do is get more magic levels because I have an idea on how to make more money. And if you need anything in this game mode, it is more money, 90% of the time. So we're going to be cursing goblins in Lumbridge. So here's my method for casting curse. I don't use curse on the Zamorak monk in the Varrock castle. I use curse on these goblins here because they can't reach me and there's a ton of them, so if the curse is actually successful, I can just switch to another goblin. I definitely should be using armor here instead of mage gear, I'm realizing now. Okay, there we go. Now I will splash a lot more often so I can keep casting on the same goblin. Okay, so I got to 45 magic, which means when I get to pay to play, I can Camelot teleport straight away and I can do some easy quests that I want to get done early before my inventory gets clogged up. I won't be needing this magic gear anymore, so I'm going to sell it all and buy a strength amulet and some melee gear because it's time to train melee. The orange cape kind of looks like a fire cape, so I think I'm going to stick with that. Okay, I'm going to fish some salmon and then I'm going to go to the security stronghold to train. I got a clue while fishing here. I want to get a good cosmetic from beginner clues because having a good cosmetic becomes iconic on your account, and it becomes emblematic of the period you're in. So I'm going to do this right now. Alright, let's open this casket to see what we get. That is a cosmetic. We are in the bare feet era. Hell yeah. Next episode, we finish free to play, so I'll see you there.